What's up, everybody? King of Fomo here, coming at you with your daily crypto update. In this video today, we're going to be talking about an NFT that you can actually yield farm with, passively earn with, stake and earn with, and it's called Stacked Toads. So, full disclosure here, guys, this is more of a public service announcement rather than a FOMO and now and buy your stacked ETH liquidity pool tokens right away, because this is potentially going to be a highly volatile thing in either direction, and that includes the very negative direction. So just be careful and do your own research with this after you watch the video. Now, of course, NFTs have done crazy things, and we've seen some insane stuff happen with this. So you could be watching this video or looking at this at some point in time in the future, and it could be doing much better than you're seeing right now as well. But definitely do your own research on this. But it's an interesting concept, and that's kind of why I want to cover it. And lastly, before I start covering Stacked Toads, make sure you head on over to my Patreon. I have two different tiers here. You can get access to my Discord community and access to my videos 3 to 2 days earlier than everyone else. However, this video I am launching for everyone, including YouTube, at the same time, just because of the nature of the expiration of this content very quickly. But for the rest of my videos, or for most of my videos, you're going to be getting them early over here on Patreon for the Patreon subscribers. So what is Stacked Toads? This is an NFT. You guys can find this over on OpenSea. There's actually two different types of Stacked Toads. There's the Stacked Toads, and you can see that there's 3 toads stacked on top of each other. And then just recently launched is the Unstacked Toads, which is just one toad by itself. Now, again, this is just pixel art, so I mean, you've seen less than interesting NFTs sell for significantly more. But the reason why these stacked toads are interesting, you can see the price of these things are well, we'll talk about the price in a little bit, but the reason why these things are interesting is because you can actually stake them and earn with them. So there's 3 ways to stake these stacked toads. Particularly with the NFTs, you have these 2 pools down here. This is the stacked pool, in which you're going to be earning 50 stack per day for every 1 stack that you stake. And then there's the unstacked pool, which is these guys right here. And for those, you're going to be earning 5 stack per day for every unstacked toad that you stake. And then up here is your classic staking. There is a token called Stack on the Ethereum network that you can purchase on Uniswap, and you can add liquidity pool tokens just like your typical farms, and you can stake these liquidity pool tokens and earn this way as well. Now, this is where things get really interesting and highly volatile. You can see the chart right here. When it launched, it dipped pretty hard, and it's having a pretty nice recovery down from a low of about 36 cents to about $1.62 right now, and rising. Now, again, of course, do your own research. That price is going to be very different when you're watching this, most likely. But nonetheless, the APR for this is pretty insane. So that's, I've only been farming for a few minutes here, and I've earned 14 stack tokens from a small liquidity pool stake that I put in there. So 14 of those bad boys are going to be worth about $28 in, I would say, less than 20 minutes of me staking in here. So that's really nice APR. In fact, they actually have a chart right here, and this chart tells you kind of what you're going to be earning. Now, you have to update the numbers yourself. All this is in the Discord community, and maybe I'll put the some of these links in the YouTube video or the Patreon group. But basically, when you plug all the numbers in here, it tells you the APR per day is 419% that you're earning daily from here. Now, obviously, that number is going to go down significantly, which is why I'm saying this is going to be very volatile. But as of right now, that's extremely good rates, and you have your APR per year. Now, it's going to be very interesting how this turns out, because I mean, NFTs are definitely the craze right now, and this is a concept that personally I haven't seen anywhere else in the NFT space. Being able to use your NFT to yield farm with is an interesting idea. Now, of course, the profitability and the tokenomics of that it can be a little confusing, because I mean, what are you actually earning from that, and where's the money coming from what you're earning is the question. But these guys, since they created their own stack token, they were able to build their ecosystem around their NFT, which is, again, a really interesting concept. I'm imagining that if these NFTs do skyrocket in value, then the stack token as well can skyrocket in value, and the yield farming can skyrocket in value too. So that's kind of where I'm going with this in terms of how this can be interesting, how this can play out in the positive side of things. But of course, I mean, it is a yield farming token, and we've seen plenty of these things print themselves to death. And if this thing is no different, I wouldn't really be too surprised from that either. Now, last thing to kind of notice here, your stacked toads and your unstacked toads, obviously, the price difference should be about 5 times different between the two NFTs, because if you just look at the value of what you can do with them right here, the value of stacked toads is 50 stack per day. The value of unstacked toads is 5 stacked per day. So I mean, that's just 10 times the value right here for your stacked toads, and that's kind of what we're seeing over here on OpenSea. So these are worth about 0.15 Ethereum, and these are worth about 0.03 Ethereum. So that's exactly that's about 5x from where it is. So you can kind of get yourself a deal depending on what the price of these things are if you're purchasing a lot of them. But do keep in mind gas fees still do exist. So if you're purchasing some of the smaller ones, you have to keep in mind that you're going to get hit with some pretty heavy gas fees if you're moving around a lot of things on the Ethereum network. So consider buying some of the bigger ones if you're going to do a few purchases, and figure out the math on your own on that. But this is just an interesting thing. We'll see if more comes out of this, and I'll update you guys, hopefully, if I remember, on how this thing does. Maybe this might be a quick in and out for me. We'll see. Or it might just be just an experiment that I'm just going to completely take a total L on. But nonetheless, interesting concept. Let me know what you guys think about this thing and some of the other NFT stuff that we've been talking about. And I know there's a lot of miner contracts out there. If you guys, I know that some people want me to talk about them, so I might be talking about some of those miner contracts, or maybe a newer one that comes out. I'm not totally stoked or hyped on any of those, because we've seen a lot of those in the past, and they kind of all end the same way. But if people are interested in them and they're working out nicely, then so be it. I'm not one to just become a fanboy or an anti-fanboy of something because it's old or new. If it works, it works. That's the way that I see things. Profits are profits in crypto, and that is the end of that. Anyway, that's everything for today, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Again, head on over to my Patreon if you want the rest of my videos earlier than everyone else, and access to my Discord community. And I'm going to keep digging into these NFT stuff. That's kind of where I want to end off talking about. I know that there's a lot of people, YouTubers and people interested in some of the stuff that I talked about in the past, like your percent daily contracts. But honestly, learning this NFT stuff, I think, is going to pay off more than doing some of that older stuff over and over again. And I'm starting to see the fruits of my labor actually show some good returns, some positive returns from learning this NFT stuff. So I'm going to keep messing around with it, and even though I know the engagement's not going to be very high and people don't care about it, but I think there's going to be a lot of good stuff coming out of this. Anyway, guys, that's everything for today. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace out.